What's up, man? Man, today has been a great day. I'm so glad to be back in here. I feel like when I'm not here, I'm keeping too much stuff to myself. Like, things ain't moving as fast as I would like them to move for me personally. So, man, I love to be on this podcast, sharing this stuff that I be getting on a day-to-day basis. I feel like this is the best way for me to apply what I've learned. And the insights that I've gotten, the quickest way, and this is the good way for me to remember it too, because I go back and watch my videos all the time. I was looking for some inspiration last night as I was walking, and I went to listen to some of my old podcasts. I ain't gonna lie, I felt amazing just going back and listen to my old stuff, man. It was crazy. Got a lot of inspiration on just getting new stuff, and think about where I had been. And that's why I said initially, I got to do the podcast so I can really document where I'm at that time. And then I can look back on it and be like, man, I've grown. I've grown since then. And I would listen to a podcast from 2019. Had your boy thinking. Like, I was on a whole different thing than I am now in 2019. But in the podcast, I was talking about where I was at 18. And man, I've come a long way, bro. A long way. Seriously, it's crazy. It's crazy how far I've came. But today, what I want to talk about is the importance of relationships. And I've never thought about it like this. I feel like I've never broken down like this, where it comes and it's like this methodical and logical. About these relationships, man. But so today, man, that's what I want to talk about, was relationships, and relationships that matter. Like all the relationships in your life that matter, you need to understand the dynamics of the relationship. You need to understand, like, the relationships that matter are the ones that's going to push your life forward and push you towards your goals. And those relationships you have to take seriously. And I think if you have this framework of thinking about relationships, you'll also be able to get rid of some of the relationships that's not working for you, that you might have thought was going to push you forward, but they might not be. So to start off, I want you to think about this. To be in a great relationship, you have to know who you are first in the relationship. They always say, like, when a relationship is two people, when two people come together, then I'm not talking about marriage per se, but when two people come together, the relationship is good because they have one goal, right? But those two people have to fit together. So for you to actually even join a relationship, you need to know who you are first, right? Who you are in a relationship. And it might be more, but I only found two. It's two people. It's two kind of people in a relationship, or two kind of people that fit that dynamic of a relationship. You can either be a person A or person B, or a combination of both. But one has more A and one has more B. And then when those two people come together, it's amazing, right? So the first type person is I call them a type A person, and these are the people that are action people. They get things done. Like they think less and they do more, And I need like a chart or something, man, like for real, because I think you need to see this diagram, because you have to see this. Let me write this down, bro. So I wish I had like one of those computers where you could type on it. Nah, I ain't got that here. But so say a type A person is a person that does less thinking. They do more doing, And so when they like go towards something, they know how to go pretty fast. Like they can go from 0 to like 8 extremely fast, or move really fast on actions or like their goals and things. But the problem with those people is that they don't try to they do less thinking about avoiding the pitfalls. They just fall into the pits. And usually when they fall into the pits, they fall hard, right? Very hard, right? Like these are the people that do something very hard for like 9 months. And then they like, you know what? This was kind of hard, Paul, a pit. And I'm not doing no more. and they can get right back in there because they can get their motivation back because they can start on something new and go extremely fast with that. So it's like they drop whatever they was doing, and because it had like that normal path of success, they have these things, they go really hard like this and they drop. Right, let me see if I can draw it. You can see it. This is a terrible drawing. Jesus Christ. Look at that. So this is how they do. They come in there, they go really hard, they drop. They go hard, they drop. They go hard, and they drop. They go hard, and then they drop. And then what next thing they do, they just leave. They just stop going hard, you know, and they go to something else, you know, and just completely leave whatever was going on over there. You know, like I'm done with that, right? And that's like a type A personality. Like in my mind, those people are the ones that they are all about actions, right? Then they got the other side of the person. They got the other type, the type B people. Type B people is like the intellectuals. They like to think about things and they want the perfect moments to like get started, right? And when you talk about people that want the perfect moments to get started, they always have a hard time getting started. Starting is slow. So look, let me see how they look. They kind of look like this. These is type B people, right? They get a little traction, and they see something that costs me wrong, and then they go back down. They go do some more thinking. Then they do a little traction. They do something very little, and they see something wrong. Then they go back to thinking. They do a little bit, and then they keep going in a circle. You know what I'm saying? But in actuality, they moving extremely slow because they're trying to predict the next movement. And as soon as it gets a little bit wrong, they just stop. You know what I'm saying? And they want to go back to the drawing board. And it's like endless circles. Like these be happening week at a time. I'm a type B person for sure. Like I start something and I can revisit, revise before I even start. Like I'm always adding to it before it actually even begins. You know, I'm not letting like the real world experiment and add from that. I'm adding to it, and I still ain't put it out there. So I mean, I understand I'm that kind of person, right? So when you get all that, when you know who you are, as far as type A and type B, the next thing is this. You have to know the common denominator, or not denominator, the common goal. Like you have to have a common goal with the people that you're dealing with. You know, like when I say common goal, it's like everybody's like the goal is like the North Star. You know what I'm saying? That's at the top. You and the other person have to be looking the same way. Like it ain't got to be exactly, but you have to be looking the same way. If two people in a relationship are not looking the same way, it's going to be a terrible relationship. I keep saying relationship. I hope you're not thinking about marriage, because this is friends too. Friends, co-workers, mentors, mentees, like y'all have to be looking the same way. Like if this is the top, you need to be looking up there, and they kind of got to be looking that general direction, because if they looking not that way, that relationship is definitely going to not be that beneficial to you, or you're going to have a hard time. You have a very hard time. You have to be making progress to the same direction, right? So I thought about this analogy or situation, and it kind of summed it up, so it's easy to remember. And I think it's just a good example of how to visualize it. So I was thinking about a forest, and on the end of that forest, everybody like money. They got $1 million, right? 10 miles across, $1 million, right? Thick forest, you know, like all kind of outcomes is in there. You don't know what's in there. There's all kind of treachery and danger and ups and downs, just like any road to success. Got two people. They got a type B and a type A, right? And for them to make it through that forest, more than likely they're gonna have to work together. They might make it, but singly. But for them to work together, they'll make it a lot quicker than they would separate, right? So you think a type A person, when you think about them going through that woods, what they gonna do? They're gonna just take off running. It's already dark, you know, you can barely see. They taking off running, they run through the woods. They tripping over branches, they busting their nose, falling completely. Takes them a day to like recuperate, you know? Like they feel so hard. And then they gotta think about where they at, you know? Then what they do, they get up and they start running again, you know, fast as they possibly can, because they want to get across there, you know, like that's all they're thinking about is getting across, right? And then you think about that person, they falling and they got to rest a day, and they going for 2-3 hours and they fall and they got to rest a day. And then you think about the type B personality. What they doing? Tiptoeing. You think about how far, if you was tiptoeing, could you get if you tiptoe for 5 hours a day, as opposed to running for 2 hours, running for an hour. If you ran for an hour and you tiptoe for inch by inch for 5 hours, who would be further along? Who knows? That's a long time, you know. Like, and I feel like you'll be about the same. Nobody's really making that much progress at all, because they need that other portion to like bring them to a better average speed, you know. Like for me, it's like since I'm tiptoeing because I'm trying to look out for dangers, you know. Like I'm keeping my eyes on the ground, you know, looking. I don't want to fall in any holes. I just want minimal progress, right? What if I was on the back of a person that just ran very quickly, right? They wouldn't be able to run as quickly, but also they would have me as eyes to like keep out for danger so they wouldn't fall as hard, right? So if we was together, we would move a lot quicker because we have both elements of the journey. You know, I feel like most teams are like this. Most extremely successful teams are like this. They have a person that's like a visualization person, and they have an action person, and you really never see the action person. Everybody loves the visualization person or the type B personality. You know, they're the one that have the big dream and they thought about it and they see all the stuff in the future. More than likely, those people have no action. They just talk. They the action person, you know. I mean, they the visualization person. So think about that. When you run through the forest, if I was riding the person that would have the action, you know, I was walking with them, I would move a lot faster because I'm still doing what I do. I look out for danger, you know, and they still doing what they do. They moving faster than normal, you know, like they not worried about danger, but they moving, they getting the actions done. With my help, they can move a little slower, but they will also move. I would be moving a lot faster, you know. The average speed would be going up between us, right? I hope that made sense, man. I'm just gonna keep putting these out. This is what I learned today, and I hope it was beneficial. So that's my take on relationships and building relationships and having those relationships in your life. It makes sure y'all both going towards the same thing or looking in the same direction. And when you find people that's looking in the same direction, know what part you are, and hopefully they the other part. Because two people that like to do visualization and no work, that means no actions. If you an action person and you with an action person, that means a lot of falls might happen. So that's all I got, man. I hope y'all having a good day, man. This is James in the office at the desk doing podcasts. All right, y'all. Peace.